Hi, my name is Terry, and you're watching Terry Tells the Story. Today, I want to talk about a war that's been going on. If you've spent any time on social media lately, your feed is likely a battlefield of manosphere podcasters, dating experts, and constant discourse about what men owe women and what women owe men. Women hating comments from men about the low quality of the modern woman, and man hating comments from women about broke men who don't know what chivalry looks like anymore. To understand where we are, we have to look at where we were. In the 90s, the cultural engine was pushed toward female empowerment and liberation. The narrative was clear: women can do anything a man can do. Women can be doctors, lawyers, and engineers, and strong, independent women don't need a man. We were moving toward a world of shared capability. But lately, we've seen a shocking whiplash style move back toward traditional expectations. The idea that a man is supposed to provide, that they are supposed to be the leaders, the providers, and the protectors, and that women are supposed to follow. This isn't just a random vibe shift. It's a response to an economic reality that has become impossible to ignore. See, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, the single earner model wasn't a luxury, it was the standard. A person could work 40 hours a week at almost any job, white collar or blue collar, and provide a stable life for a spouse and two children. You didn't need to be a CEO, you just needed a job, and they were much easier to get. Fast forward to today. We have shifted to dual income households out of pure survival. It now takes two salaries to afford a fraction of the comfort and stability that one salary used to buy. That has created a massive simmering pot of frustration. Men feel the weight of a traditional expectation to provide in an economy that has systematically stripped away their ability to do so on their own. Instead of looking at the economic structures, many men misplace that anger. They see women talking about standards or traditional roles, and they conclude that women have suddenly become shallow gold diggers. But women haven't changed. They haven't suddenly become more materialistic. They have simply shifted their rhetoric as a survival tactic. In an era where it is difficult to keep your head above water, the traditional model becomes an attractive life raft. It's not about greed, it's about evolution. Let's look at the free meal trope. Men complain, oh, she's just using me for a free meal. But think about the economics of that. Think about the mechanics. How hungry does a person have to be to spend an hour with somebody they have absolutely no interest in, whose company they don't enjoy, just for a plate of food? Not to mention the safety cost. Often these women give out their home addresses and get into a car alone with a stranger. I highly doubt that's happening as often as some men think. But if she's actually going that far, putting her life at risk for a plate of food, she's obviously hungry. The truth that nobody wants to admit in these gender war comment sections is that everybody wants financial stability. If a man had someone offer to come into his life and make all his financial stress disappear, he would take it in a heartbeat. Every man would. And if he says he wouldn't, he's lying. Imagine you go to work every day as normal, but if any unexpected expenses come up, somebody else takes care of it. You never have to worry about money again. Never have to choose between paying the rent or buying groceries. If you ever go over budget because your transmission in your car went out or because of some unexpected medical bill, somebody else just takes care of it for you. Every man would take that deal. Because seeking security is a basic evolutionary trait. Nobody wants to eat ramen noodles for every meal for a week and a half because that's all the budget allows. The only reason why men don't demand that type of treatment is because they haven't been taught to expect it. They haven't been culturally conditioned for 1,000 years to believe that that is their right, like women have. If the roles were reversed, if history had taught us that women were supposed to provide and men were supposed to nurture, you would see the exact same gold-digging behavior in men. The drive to want a good life with financial security is innate and natural in all people. But if a man says it's too difficult to have to provide for a woman on a single salary, people will call him weak or say that he's less of a man, when really he's just being chewed up and exploited by the same unjust economic system we all are. And not being able to outperform in a system that's designed for you to fail is not a sign of a lack of character. We have to acknowledge the math. The millennial generation is the first generation since the Great Depression that did not financially outperform the generation that came before them. Usually, every generation does better than their parents. To break that streak, we need a cataclysmic event. And we are living in the shadow of an economic system that has broken its promise of progress. And if you're a man and you say, well, Terry, if it really is as hard as you say, and the deck really is stacked against us, then I shouldn't have to provide for a woman. Why should I provide for a woman on a single salary? That's not fair. You're absolutely right. It's not fair. This is where the trap snaps shut. The wealthy and the elites, the people responsible for keeping your wages low while they record record-breaking profits, didn't necessarily plan this gender war. It started as a happy accident of social friction caused by economic stress. Because, however, they quickly realized how much this accident benefited them. They absolutely love the manosphere. They love the Instagram reels of women bashing broke men and men bashing low quality women. Why? Because as long as we're at war with each other, we're not looking up. They need us stratified. In this case, it's on the basis of gender, but it works just as well when they turn us against each other on the basis of race, sexual orientation, immigration status, or anything else. Social unrest is the elite's best friend, provided the unrest stays horizontal. Culture war issues are a distraction meant to redirect attention away from economic injustice. As long as you're pointing at your partner, your ex, or a stranger on a dating app, you aren't pointing at the systems that are actually oppressing you. Every time you contribute to a gender war argument, you're playing right into their hand, giving them exactly what they want. The moment the working class stops blaming each other for their hunger and starts looking at who owns the kitchen, the game is over. So, the Spanish I'm going to be teaching you today is el sistema. El sistema. And what that means is the system. If you like this video or you learned something new from it, drop a like down below. If you have a specific topic that you'd like to see me cover, drop me a comment. And if you'd like to support this work that I do, there'll be a link to the Cash App in the description box below. We'll see you next time.